Well, good morning, everybody. This is Tim Ealer. Hope you all doing well today. We have a kind of a lull in the action today with generally just some lake effect or lake enhanced snow showers moving through the northeast after this high impactful event. You can see the upper level features, one offshore here, out west, right? And this will be a main player for our flooding risk here in the coming days. And this feature will kind of hang out here, maybe weaken some over time, but generally keep a northwest flow flowing this way. And you can see generally a west-east flow here for the rest of the nation. With generally a northwest flow kind of this way, which is bringing colder air down from um, Canada, which will bring still cold temperatures and reinforcing shots of cold air in the coming days. So, as we talked about with snow showers, snow squalls potentially here all along the really the mid-Atlantic to the Great Lakes and the northern interior of the U.S., Minnesota. Um, good morning. I want to welcome you all to my channel. Like the video if you like it, subscribe, and share with your friends. And so, let's get started. So for the Georgia area today, we have a red flag warning for a good portion of the forecast area today, with relative humidity below 25%, gusts up to 25 miles per hour, gusts up to 30 plus at higher elevations, dry vegetation. Um, so outdoor burning is strongly discouraged today. So low relative humidities, high winds, fires can start very quickly here. So what's the forecast for the next couple days? Today, high in the 40s generally for most of the state, upper 30s in the northeast portion of the state. Sunny skies tonight, lows generally in the 20s to the upper teens on the far northeast portion of the state. And tomorrow, warming up to the low 50s here in central Georgia, mid 50s in South Georgia, upper 40s in the coldest areas to the northeast here. As far as after the first of the year, generally expecting temperatures to be slightly above normal for most of the period here through the 13th, with temperatures near or slightly above normal for lows as well. So, although there's a lot of uncertainty this far out, in general, high in the 60s, lows in the 40s, and maybe the upper 30s for the Warner Robins area anyway. As far as current hazards, we have this red flag warning into parts of Georgia, like we just talked about. Freeze watch, we kind of alluded to that. High wind warning, high wind watch. Looks like in the parts of the Appalachians here, West Virginia, parts of Pennsylvania, parts of the Northeast corridor, with high wind advisories in the other areas. And these colors are kind of hard to make out sometime. It looks like high wind warnings or high wind watches here in the brown shaded areas, just generally in different kind of sporadic here into Wyoming and Montana, into Louisiana. We got a freeze warning this morning. Dense fog advisory for just generally not a lot of air movement here in the valleys here today in California. And looks like wind advisory in certain areas here in Southern California with some winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings scattered throughout in the windward side of the Appalachian Mountains. Winter weather advisory, winter storm watch, and different other winter weather type alerts here, winter weather advisory in these areas. As far as excessive rainfall and severe weather, this is starting tomorrow. We have this onshore flow resuming into the southern California with the attendant slight and marginal flood risk here. This potentially could be upgraded to moderate with further outlooks. After I read the WPC discussion, that's what they talked about. Now, if we look at the total amount of rainfall anticipated here, highest amounts are generally in Los Angeles area, Santa Barbara, maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 inches of rain, which they noted also that it looks like the precip probabilities and amounts have increased over the past day or so. We go to New Year's Day. Slight risk is maintained in the Los Angeles area and the California, Sierra Nevada mountains, and then Northern California along the coast. Again, the highest precip totals are in the Los Angeles area or just to the north of it. And the Sierra Nevadas up towards Quincy, Chico again, Downeyville, and right along the northern coast of California, northwest coast of California, and right along the coast of Oregon and Intermountain areas, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, Colorado, Idaho, with moisture streaming onshore here. No severe weather expected for today or tomorrow. We have just a general thunderstorm risk in the Los Angeles area, right on the southern coast of California. Of course, it's western, it's on the west coast, right? Western coast of California, San Diego, Oceanside, Irvine, Los Angeles, Santa Clarita, Oxnard, Pompos, and the islands right offshore here. That thunderstorm risk moves a little further inland here into parts of Arizona for New Year's Day. And day 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, not anticipating any severe weather during those days. So what's the next 3 to 7 days look like for the hazards here? We talked about this briefly. We have the heavy rain potential here, the 1st through the 3rd, and the 1st to the 5th here into Northern California and Southern California. The 3rd through the 5th here into the California Sierra Nevada range, excuse me. Frost freeze potential into a majority of Florida here, all the way down to south central Florida, interior areas, and all along the Gulf Coast. Heavy snow potential the 1st and the 1st to the 2nd here, as it's cold into Alaska. Heavy snow into southern parts of the Alaskan area and high winds and significant waves here. We look at risk of heavy precip, slight risk of heavy precip along the west coast here, the 6th through the 8th and the 6th through the 10th into the south, parts of the southeast, Tennessee Valley, Lower Mississippi Valley along the Gulf Coast. Slight risk of heavy snow here, the 6th through the 8th, all into the northeast quarter, generally west of the coastal areas here, riding the Appalachian chain, really, and then into the Cascades and Sierra Nevada range. Risk of high winds generally along the west coast still, into the Intermountain West, the 6th to the 8th, and the 6th to the 8th as well, and southern parts of Alaska here. No risk of hazardous temperatures have been outlined here, day 8 to 14. This is the range we're in now. And now the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, above normal temperatures expected here in the central U.S., with near normal to below normal up in the northeast. Colder than normal expected in most of Alaska, Hawaii. You can see what's going on there. Above normal precip chances, the 4th through the 8th. We talked about this along the west coast here, northern tier of the U.S. and the northeast, with below Normal precip chances expected for the central and southern U.S. Near normal for all these other areas. The above normal temperatures expand a little bit more with near normal temperatures for the northeast, below normal to near normal to above in parts of Alaska to above normal in Hawaii. And the higher precip chances maintain themselves along the west coast and the central U.S. into the northern tier and split into Alaska, and Hawaii remains above normal precip chances. Week 3 and 4, this was issued on the 26th, will be issued again on the 3rd. Above normal temperatures looking likely here in parts of north central, western U.S., west central U.S. to the California coast, and generally a line dividing a third of the nation here, maybe, to the north here, maybe equal chances of below and above in the northeast up into Maine. Below normal precip chances look to be prevalent here, at least leaning below normal chances here along the west coast in the south into parts of mid-Atlantic. Equal chances in between here with above up north, with different areas on Alaska being equal or above or below depending on where you are, and in Hawaii maintain that above normal precip chances. They're getting towards the end of the month here. So what does the future hold for the continental U.S. as far as sensible weather? Well, out west right now, we have what looks like a ridge in place a little bit here. Made this full screen with a low pressure moving on shore here, which is going to bring that weather on the California coast. And this is depicting the low over the northern part of the U.S. This is a mid-level feature, a good way to represent what's going on in the atmosphere, right? And this is the AI GFS model, a newly released model that's supposed to be a lot better than the GFS. We'll see what happens with that. But this model, and we talked about this, we have a Greenland block going on over here, keeping this 500 millibar, and you can see the different lows, surface features here as well. But the heights at 500 millibars indicate colder air aloft, usually leading to colder air at the surface and disturbed weather. And you can see a lobe of moving through here. Let's see, 1st of January. I wish I could figure out a way to make this. Let me go to continental U.S. here. Yeah, so this is the DRA model, and we go through time here. See generally the northwesterly flow with troughiness along the east coast, with regime building out west here, regime building out west, and getting flattened out some. You see the trough remains along the east coast here, along the northern tier of the U.S., right? The northeast in general, the northeast Canada. And it maintains itself for quite a while here, although it kind of flattens out as we get towards the 5th of January. More zonal flow here. Maybe he wants to dig again with maybe some ridging building out to the east. So, I don't know. I was hoping that maybe we get a couple nor'easters coming through with this pattern. But let's compare it to the AIGFS, and it generally wants to do the same thing, although it has a deeper trough here further out around the 6th of January, although it's not negatively tilted, at least based on this run, and it eventually lifts out, all right, and replaced by some ridging. This could potentially, it looks like the way the trough is set up with this setup, it wouldn't be favorable for a nor'easter. So let's look at the surface here. Yeah, so when we look at this, the northern stream is quite active with AIGFS here. We have this heavy potential snowfall event around the first here, which is highlighted in the day 3 to 7 hazards outlook, and the precip and heavy rainfall along the west coast here. All right, these are the two main events really. You can see what a 540 line is here, which indicates generally the freezing line. Okay, and so at 500 millibars. All right, so in the southern stream, we have some potential moisture return here into the southeast, where that heavy rainfall potential is, with some lingering rain here. Looks like a potentially pretty long event here. That moves out. The precip along the west coast moves to the north here, across the northwest coast of the U.S. We still have this northerly stream, northwesterly stream, moving through the northeast. You can see when you have this trough dig, the low doesn't develop till it's offshore, and at least in this model run, doesn't really bring an impactful storm there. And further out here on the 7th, you have a lingering storm off the west coast again, and hinting at a southern stream system with a CAD wedge further out here, and maybe return of moisture along the west coast here as we get to the extended range. Compare this to the Euro AI. Compare it to the Euro AI. All right. Start off relatively now. This northern stream event, and we have pretty good agreement between the Euro AI and the GFS AI about these events. Southern stream energy in the south, pretty good agreement still, and continuing onshore flow here out west, which we talked about. That low here scoots out to sea. The Euro wants to bring another low onshore here further out in the period, and has some northern stream energy, maybe developing some snow in the parts of the northeast further out. Maybe bring in a system further through the central part of the U.S. towards the end of the period, but it's going to be active, but mostly on the west coast, and maybe some northern stream events and southern stream events, which we haven't had. So we could use a rainfall down here. So let's look at temps real quick. Did a prod bias model here. Let me wait for this to load. It's loading, so you can see the temps starting out right now relatively. This is a 6Z today, which is already passed, but cold northwesterly flow here. We go through time with the temps. Generally staying cold up the north here, where shots are cold air moving in. You see in the South Texas, although it's cooled off a little bit recently, going to warm up again pretty quickly here. Bitterly cold temperatures up north here, which is the way it's been a good portion of the year. Minnesota, North Dakota, etc. In those areas, it stayed pretty cold this year, except for a few brief warm-ups. Generally, could get in the 80s here in southern Texas. We're talking 1 January, okay, so 90, 80 to almost 90 here in southern Texas, with that low moving through here around the 3rd in the south. So you can see where the coldest temps are. Of course, in the blue and purples, the Barney colors as we call it. Right, and this is towards way far out. This is the 9th of January, so more uncertain to this time. So, but overall, I would expect. It seems like there's going to be a warm up, pushing even into the northeast, at least a slight one in the towards the extended period, and cooling off for the Intermountain West. That's all I got for today, guys. I hope you have a good day and God bless.